Good morning, children. Today, in this class, we will discuss about the land, soil, water, natural vegetation, and wildlife resources. This, of course, we have been discussing. At last class, we discussed about the first renewable resources. That is, one is land and soil. We have discussed about first one is land and soil. They are the best examples. The land and soil are the best examples of natural resources. Children, we have discussed about land, use of land, and the types of land, and degradation of land, and conservation methods. And followed by, we discussed soil, what is soil, and different type of soils, and the soil formation, degradation of soil, and conservation methods. Children, now this class will continue with this water. As you know, water is a best example of renewable source of energy. As you know, Earth is covered by almost 3 by 4. 3 by 4 of the area is completely covered by water, as you know. As you know, that is East, Bay of Bengal, South, Arabian Sea, South, Indian Ocean, and West, Arabian Sea. Except North, that is mountains. That's the reason why you can say India is a subcontinent. That's the reason we can say India is a subcontinent. Because of this 3 sides water, and towards north is bounded by Himalayas. So here the water is very, very essential for our own survival. Without water we cannot survive. Since this 3 by 4 area is covered by water, but it is completely saline water. Completely it is saline water, which is not useful for our consumption. Even it is not useful for even cultivation. It's almost all wastewater. Almost all 60%. When you take fresh water, which comes from glaciers, ice sheet, rivers, Himalayan rivers, it is just only 2.7%. 2.7%, which is not even enough for our own consumptions. Which is not even sufficient for our own consumption. That's why some of the great people expected that 2025 there will be a big water scarcity. There is a problem of water scarcity. Because huge population like India, we have been exploiting excess use of water in different ways. Excess use of water in different ways. So therefore, this is a problem for future generation. Now, as you know, importance of water is. Water is very, very essential. We have been using for agriculture, industries, navigation, transportation, fish feeding, enormous uses we can get from this water. Enormous uses, so many uses. Mainly we have been using for water supplying for irrigation, yes. Industries, especially for transportation, trade, the major activity which we can export the goods from one nation to another nation, trading activities, and generating the electricity, generating the water scarcity. There are plenty of uses we can get from the water. Therefore, water is very, very important for our survival. Example, you see, the countries like West Asia, Africa, Europe, and Australia, even if you take some of the countries, there is a lot of scarcity of water. There is a lot of scarcity of water, yes. Why? What is the meaning of water scarcity, children? Here, water scarcity means non-availability of water is. Non-availability of water. We can say water scarcity. So for India, like India, a huge population, almost 30 billions population. So for water scarcity normally takes place because of the following reasons. Water scarcity takes place only lack of monsoons and overpopulation, other factors. But mainly if we take here causes for water scarcity, one is overexploitation. Overexploitation, one of the major cause for water scarcity. Second one is excess use of water. Excess use of water. Excess use of water. And third one is access to water by the different social groups. These are the various causes for water scarcity. For example, you take the India like this, various social groups. Social groups. For example, you take India, yes. The person who is living in urban area. The person who is living in urban area, citizens of urban of India, we take an average per day. Each person requires almost 150 liters of water is. In average, each person each day requires 150 liters of water. It's very, very essential. Drinking 3%, 3 liters. Okay. Bathing 10 liters. Gardening 20 liters. Washing utensils 40%. So if you like this calculate, the total comes almost on 150 liters per day per person in urban areas. Right? So therefore, here it is necessary to conserve the water. Badly required, yes, because much of the portion is covered by saline water, which is not useful for consumption. So fresh water is very less percentage, almost all 2.7%. it's not sufficient. So therefore, the dry region, another reason is lack of monsoons. Dry regions, so they are facing a lot of problem. Water. So therefore, we have to conserve this water. So it is our duty to conserve, save water. But how we are going to conserve? Here there are various methods. Conservation of waterways. For conservation of water, number one is rainwater harvesting. This is the best method. Rainwater harvesting is the best method, yes. Particularly this method is very common where people are not receiving the sufficient rainfall. Particularly in the dry regions, arid regions, semi-arid regions like Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, and the altitude areas of northeastern states, that is Meghalaya, and southern part of Karnataka. These are the areas or lack of water. There is a lot of water scarcity in these places. That's the reason all these states presently they have been implementing this method. Rainwater harvesting. By applying this method, people get sufficient water they can use for domestic purpose. Domestic purpose, washing utensils, gardening, and even you can store some of the water so it breaks the heat during the summer. How rainwater harvesting takes place? Already discussed, of course. We are not discussed. 8th class, no? So during the rainy season, the top portion, the roof, from roof to bottom, they arrange pipes, PVC pipes from roof to down, connecting roof to along the building. Long pipes will be. Then inside the courtyard house, they will dig a circular like a bed. They build a circular like a well. They will dig and they will give connection. Through these pipes, entire water reaches to this tank. So this water can be used entire house. So this method of storing water, collecting water during rainy seasons, very common in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Meghalaya, and even Rajasthan. The dry regions of Rajasthan and Gujarat. That is one of the best methods, rainwater harvesting. Second important method is dripping irrigation. Drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is another important method. So this will be generally followed in the dry regions where the lack of water is available, not available. Such places, this drip irrigation sprinkle the water for the large areas and make moisture. It's another method. So we can save some of the water. drip irrigation. Rainwater harvesting, drip irrigation, and third one is even we can take as a bamboo irrigation. Yes, bamboo irrigation. Bamboo irrigation. That means it is the oldest method, especially like mountain areas, high altitudes. Through bamboos, they connected connected these bamboos each other from higher altitudes. The long distances, water carried and supply the water for the fields. So these are the various. And third one is even construction of various channels, check dams, construction of check dams. We can save, we can conserve. So these are the various methods to conserve the water. One is rainwater harvesting, drip irrigation, third is bamboo irrigation, and even construction of dams. These are the various methods you can apply for conservation of water. So water is it is the best example of renewable source of energy. It's very important because we have been using this water for number one, agriculture, electricity, construction activities, transportation, generating electricity, fish breeding. At the same time, it supports the flora and fauna. It supports the flora and fauna. At the same time, it is an alternate source of supplying water for growth of various plants, various type of vegetation across the country. Therefore, water is we consider the blue planet. Therefore, Earth is considered as a blue planet because it is covering entire land by water. That is 3/4. 3/4 is covered by water. The rest 1/4 is land. That is the importance of water. Water, how we have been utilizing, use of water, how water scarcity takes place, and conservation of water. At the same time, this water also gives life for natural vegetation. Natural vegetation exists interconnecting between lithosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere, atmosphere. These all are interdependent or interconnected and forms life. That is what is called as ecosystem. So here land, water, air are interdependent. Together makes the life. That is what is biosphere. We call it as a biosphere. Each factor is dependent upon, interconnected or interdependent and makes the life. That is what is ecosystem. Children, ecosystem. At the same time, when you take natural vegetation, you can find different type of vegetation across the country. That is tropical evergreen forests, tropical deciduous forests, thorny forests, mountain forest. This is depend upon the amount of rainfall which is available in different regions based on the availability of water is. So based on the availability of water, of concerned places. Accordingly, we can find different various type of vegetation across the globe, not only India, even across the globe. So based on this amount of water available, we can classify this vegetation into different types. That is evergreen forest, deciduous forest, thorny forest, and mountain forest. Children, we will continue with this next class. Okay, thank you.